we'd like to present our work in the creation of a technical analysis wing. As you all are aware that the penetration of technology into the lives of common man is much more speed and much more deeper compared to the penetration levels in government departments, especially police department for that matter. And that's the reason we see a gap in terms of the crime that happens using technology or where there is a limit to human intelligence, because in any crime work relating to detection of a property crime or a murder or any other bodily offense, there is a limit to human intelligence, the human component of the detection work, where you collect information from locality or members of the family. Uh, the additional advantage in terms of technical intelligence is something that was missing in the regular crime work that we see. So to bridge this gap, we've come up with a small idea. It's not a grandeur idea, it's a very small idea, but a very effective idea that we've come up with. We've thought of creating a technical analysis wing within the district. I'll briefly elaborate on this, because in general, what happens whenever a case is not solved by the local inputs, it is invariably transferred to a state headquarters to CID department, and the case just lies there for a long time. And nobody follows it up. And even if there are any for the leads, the field level organization, they forget, because there's so much more work, that the organic linkage between these two systems is completely lost. So to address this issue, we've thought of coming up with a self-sufficient wing at the district level itself. Uh, we've designed it in an interesting way. Next slide, Amma. So this is the initiative about to generate technical intelligence in crime work, especially, and then integrating that with the field intelligence and the field work. As in, there should be an organic linkage between the information you develop, you generate, you share with the field organization. They go, they act upon it, and then you will get further input. You need to analyze it, process it, and then again you need to give further more input. So that's how the system has been thought of. And moreover, there is very less innovation actually as of yet in crime detection prevention, because it's mostly centralized. Probably it's led through state quarters. So instead, we should have a self-sufficient and a very small organization which will be focusing upon finding out innovative ways of generating technical inputs in crime work. Next slide, please. So, having decided that we want to create a very low-cost new wing within the district, so the idea, the challenge was to first find out resources. As in, you need to pick up the people who would be part of this wing, and they have to be trained, and they have to be again integrated with a regular organized structure, because we don't want to create a structure which doesn't integrate smoothly with the regular policing structure. So to that end, we have initially thought of recruiting the very young police constables who have been recruited over the past 3 4 years, because they would be energetic, they would be keenness in learning, and they would be ready to take up challenges. So as you all know, the recruitment for police doesn't happen through technical aptitude. It will be a general examination where the physical fitnesses were measured. The technical aptitude is not actually measured. So for that, we actually had to design tests to measure the aptitude among all these young police constables, and then they had to be put through a couple of interviews done by SP sir himself to identify, because it was his own pet project. So the idea was to have a small elite group of personnel who would be having state-of-the-art technological capabilities, and then once the process was done, we could finalize with 21 police constables whom we thought within the entire district of 3,000 odd force, that they have some aptitude. Now they have to be trained. They have certain amount of aptitude, definitely, but now they ought to be trained. They have to be kept in the organization, because there is every chance. Because in general, what happens in police work, people want to be on the field. They wouldn't want to be on the desk, because that's what the real action is. So for these young lads to be convinced that the technical work is equally exciting was another challenge that we ought to address. And then, so subsequently, what we decided is, as a part of capacity building, keeping keeping the cost very low. So we used most of the open source work, open source courses, and then we actually brought some retired police personnel to train these chaps. At the same time, while we could, whatever technical gadgets we could afford, we could actually provide them laptops or small open software source and some other hardware source as well. Along with that, we actually used to make them interact with the regular day-to-day policemen as well, so that whatever cases which used to be unsolved by a regular thane, so that would be sent to this training wing, and then we used to ask them to come up with ideas of how to break them. So that way, the interest in the job or interest in the new organization was kept uh, sustaining until it took off. And then followed by that, we actually had to now focus upon how to integrate this small wing into the regular policing structure. Next slide, Rama. So this is how this new small wing has been designed. In a way, we don't hear about cross-functional teams in government and especially in policing. It's mostly hierarchical based, completely goal-oriented organization. But in this particular wing, what we've decided is we would come up with a very cross-functional type of team where there will be administrative structure followed by a functional structure, which will be different. In the functional structure, what happens is these personnel who have been recruited, they will be split into two groups. The best of them would be kept within the headquarters, district headquarters I'm talking about, and they would be challenged. They would be kept responsible for challenging really challenging crimes, wherein you need to process huge amounts of data using all the technical tools they have been taught. And another small set of around 4 units of 3 members each, they were sent to subdivisions, so that the SDPO, he would be having control over them for functional matters only. So whenever a crime happens, if he needs some technical support, he can quickly endorse the work to them. They would give whatever ideas they have or whatever inputs they can generate, and he can solve it there. And in cases where there is little challenging type of crime, so where you need to process huge amount of data, or where you need even better minds at work, that would invariably be transferred to the headquarters, the district headquarters, where it will be processed, and then inputs will be shared with the field level organizations in a day-to-day basis, and that will be organically, because crime work, let us say a crime happens and you need to catch the offender. It's a very dynamic process where you need to be constantly be improving your information regarding the offender and the offense itself. So that needs an organic linkage and seamless integration between the analysis wing and the field operation part. Next slide. Before I go to the solution benefits, and another challenge that what we found was, having created the wing, we need to make sure that the attrition, because you've got the personnel, we got them trained, and we've created a new organized structure also, but the acceptability among the field staff and the morale of these newly recruited wing should also be kept high. So for that, actually, a lot of work had gone into it, primarily starting with district SP used to invariably mention about the work of technical analysis wing by boosting up their morale, by picking up their names, and by rewarding them suitably whenever, whatever small work they must have done. So that way, at least their work was being recognized. And second, any success stories in TAW were widespread. They were published across the media and across the department also. And that way, an amount of elitism actually has slowly started coming up in this TAW wing. This has started in the month of October last year. So far, I could say that none of the personnel who have been recruited have left the organization, because within the entire district, a new culture has come up where everybody started used to look up to this TAW wing. So that way, the acceptability among the field staff was good, and the personnel who were working also, they didn't lose the motivation. They still stuck to the job and they're still doing it tremendously well. So coming to the solution part, I'll just mention about a few of the breakthrough cases which have actually got laurels for the department. One particular offense was, next slide, Elama. Yeah. So this is one particular case. In fact, this happened in the initial days of the organization it was created. A container vehicle which has a Xiaomi mobiles close to 8 crores, which was manufactured in industrial SEZ, was hijacked by a gang, and they just disappeared. The driver was caught, he was assaulted, and they flew away with the booty. We had absolutely no clue as to how to go about this. But then, thanks to the wing that we have created, the amount of zeal that these chaps have shown, a lot of information on CCTNS, which is actually underutilized, has been dug. All the MO offenders, their contacts, and so many analytics have been run into it. Eventually, the gang was completely busted. Entire property was recovered intact, and it was handed over to the organization. So that the property amount in this crime was around 8 crore rupees, which was completely recovered, thanks to the efforts of TAW. Next slide. Next, Rama. Yeah. This is another interesting case where there used to be constant attacks on temples. If you remember, sometime back in Andhra, there was this coverage about attacks on temples, which used to happen almost day in and day out. And one interesting case in Chittoor district was an attack on a very ancient temple by a treasure trove gang. It was taking communal color, but there was enormous pressure on the unit to solve this. And this temple is like one remotest place, and you can't actually, we didn't have any human input because it happened late in the night. Nobody saw them. But only through absolutely technical analysis, we could nab these fellows within a week, and the entire gang was bust open. So that's absolutely only through the efforts of TAW. Next. This is another property offense which happened like 15 days earlier, where property offense of 3 crores happened in Chittoor town itself. And then that was also completely assisted by the technical inputs that was being developed by TAW, which was organically shared with the field units, that the property offenders were caught, because it's not that easy to detect a property offense, especially of this size. But then the offenders were caught, they were arrested only based solely on technical inputs. Next. This is another interesting case. Most of us must have seen this phenomenon of losing your mobile phones, lost, and you will be losing the phone in a bus, or maybe it's been stolen by somebody. So one of the chaps in the wing, they came up with this innovative idea of, let's work on all the lost phones. And mind you, these phones are not, there are no FIRs issued against these phones. Generally, if you lose your phone, you go to police station, they don't register a case of theft. It will be kept under head of lost, and if found, shall be returned. So this young fellow in the TAW wing, which was groomed by SP sir, he came with the idea of, why can't I work on this aspect of lost mobile phones in the police stations? So he did the entire search of all these phones, used the technical tools that were being trained to them, and around 800 mobile phones were recovered, and they were handed over to the victims, costing around 1 crore rupees. It garnered a lot of press coverage as well. Next slide. Next. So these are some of the paper clippings focusing on the work done by the TAW wing. That's the dacoity case I'm talking about, where mobile phones, entire container was stolen. And then that's regarding the temple offense, which you can see. Next one. This is again the mobile phones. I was talking about 800 mobile phones were recovered by the technical analysis wing of Chittoor district. And so all this work actually is this reinforces the morale of this fellow, of the personnel working in the wing, and also acceptability among the lower level staff as well. So that way the change management aspect has been taken care of. And the performance assessment of this TAW wing is also peculiar. It's not regular ACRs that has been written. Rather, the district SP would constantly focus on the number of challenging crimes they have solved, on what all techniques they have devised in-house to solve these problems. And based on that, they will be evaluated. And this field, the SDPO units and the district units will be interchanged based on the performance assessment. Next. Yeah, so this is a small idea that our unit has come up with. I've tried to keep it as brief as possible regarding the work and the achievements has been done. Thank you.
Sharmaji.
Thank you very much. Very good presentation. And you have clearly demonstrated that so much amount of money has been recovered uh, from these notorious gangs. Has there been some deterrence because you have set up the technical analysis wing? Then it should lead to a clear message to the offenders and anti-social elements that now there is a technical analysis wing, so there should be some deterrence in their minds. So any aspect have you
Yeah.
uh,
I'll actually, sir, I want to focus upon one particular offense. I've spoken about a property offense of 3 crores in a house in Chittoor town. I would want to tell you that the offender, having stolen the property, he was waiting. The police would
okay.
come to him. So we caught him within like what, 3 days. We picked him up, and the moment we actually went and nabbed him, he was very sure that you have you come from Chittoor district. So because the message was loud and clear that, and he kept the property intact because he didn't even dispose it, thinking that police would definitely come up to him and he would get caught. And he handed over the entire property. So we are pretty sure that this initiative has gone loud and clear, and that there is certain amount of appreciation by the offenders as well, that whatever they might do, they would still get caught. So the deterrence effect, that aspect is, I think, covered.
In fact, that deterrence itself is a big achievement.
Yes, yes,
Yes, it will go a long way
yes, sir.
in checking crimes. Very good effort.
Thank you.
What are your plans to replicate it in other districts also?
Yes, I think the idea was same thing, that it should be very simple and replicable also. I think the structure that we've come up with and the in-house training systems we've developed, or the in-house assessment systems, they're fairly replicable. I think it doesn't need like other consulting organization to train these chaps, or outside organizations to get this up and running. It's fairly replicable. Only depends upon the initiative of the district police, and how much drive would they put into make sure that this change is accepted by everybody in the down the hierarchy as well.
Okay. Good, good. Excellent. Wish you all the best.